Hey everyone, 99% of you watching aren't subscribed. Let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and at 1,000 subscribers, we'll drop special stories just for you.
The room was quiet. Too quiet for what it meant. A single chair sat in the center of the debriefing chamber, and Cadet Eli Voss was slouched in it like it was a bar stool. The brass stood behind reinforced glass, watching him like he was an animal in a zoo, or more accurately, a tool they were about to throw into the trash compactor of the galaxy. Eli smirked, bouncing a silver pen off his knee. So let me guess. Another deep space anomaly. Another desperate assignment, and nobody's stupid enough to take except the guy with disciplinary marks and a solid chin. The room's intercom crackled. Cadet Voss, you're being offered a classified exploration mission to Arcadia 9. Declined by 23 candidates. It's a no-return planet. Yeah, I've heard the stories. Eli leaned forward, eyes gleaming. Ghost signals. Vanishing ships. Killer storms. The works. Then you know it's not a mission, said Commander Drex, stepping into the room at last. It's a sentence. We don't send people to Arcadia 9 to scout. We send them because we don't expect them back. Eli stood up and cracked his neck. And yet, here you are, asking me to go. Drex's jaw tightened. We need a human, not a probe, not another AI. Something's blocking the signals, biotech interference, or something more. And whatever's on that planet, it reacts differently to organic presence. We think it notices. Eli grinned. So I get to be the bait and the scientist? Fun. You'll be equipped with a planet drop pod Model 6A. Comes with environmental shielding, a fabricator for gear, a drone cam, and a neural-linked uplink system. You'll have enough supplies for 5 days. After that, the planet decides. Voss raised an eyebrow. No backup. There is no backup, Drex said flatly. There's no comms, no retrieval, no cavalry. You're going in blind. You either send something back or you don't. Silence. Eli looked up at the projection of Arcadia 9. Beautiful, dangerous, swirling with violet clouds and black mountain ridges like claw marks across the planet's surface. It called to him. He extended his hand. You had me at no return. The launch window was tight. Only a 6-minute window to thread through the planet's electromagnetic storms without the drop pod shorting out mid-atmosphere. Voss suited up in a hangar, his armor minimal, flexible exoskin with climate shielding, reinforced boots, a detachable HUD mask. No weapons. Command didn't want to provoke anything. At least not until they understood what anything was. As he approached the pod, a technician handed him a Neuralink drone the size of a bird. It blinked its lens at him and chirped. What's its name? Eli asked. Doesn't have one, the tech replied. Most of our scouts never come back with theirs intact. Eli scoffed. Then I'll name it Buzz. If he dies, I want to at least mourn him properly. He stepped into the pod, slid into the harness, and gave a cheeky salute to the grim-faced crew behind the glass. Let me guess, he said over the comms. This is the part where you say, Godspeed, Cadet. Commander Drex appeared one last time on the monitor. His face was a stone. No, Voss. This is the part where I say, try not to die screaming. Entry log, day 1. Subject, Cadet Eli Voss. Mission, Arcadia 9 reconnaissance. Status, en route, planetary descent initiated. The drop was smoother than expected. The pod sliced through the dense atmosphere like a bullet, heat shields flaring. Outside the viewports, lightning danced across clouds like veins of fire. The turbulence hit in pulses, like the planet was breathing. The second the pod broke through the cloud ceiling, Eli's jaw dropped. Holy! Arcadia 9 was not dead or decayed like the briefings had suggested. It was alive. Massive forests of green-crimson trees stretched across floating cliffs. Rivers of glowing blue water snaked through deep canyons. Towering beasts moved slowly across plains like living monoliths. None paying the pod any mind. The pod's AI pinged an alert. Landing zone. Secure. Auto-deploy in 10. 9. Voss strapped his drone to his shoulder rig, grabbed his scanner, and braced for touchdown. The pod slammed into a soft, moss-covered field, releasing a hiss of steam and opening its doors with dramatic shhkd. Warm air flooded in thick, humid, spiced with the scent of blooming flora. Eli stepped out. Instantly, every sound in the area stopped. Birds, insects, rustling leaves. It was as if the planet noticed him. "All right, Arcadia," he muttered. "Let's see what all the drama is about." The first few hours were disorienting. The laws of nature were different here. Trees bent away from sunlight. Insects flew in geometric patterns, not random paths. Some rocks floated slightly above the ground, tethered by tangled roots. And then there was the river. He found it by accident, a wide, slow-moving body of water with glowing fish visible beneath its shimmering surface. Buzz hovered above it, mapping. Eli leaned down to refill his canteen. The second his fingers touched the water, a wave of energy pulsed through the area. The trees rustled. The ground shimmered. And from the mist near the riverbank, something roared. It wasn't a roar of hunger, more like a challenge. Voss stood slowly. "Well, guess I just rang the dinner bell." A silhouette emerged from the fog, massive, low-slung, its eyes glowing like lanterns. It let out another growl, this one quieter. Measured. Eli froze. His instinct screamed to run, but he held his ground. He reached slowly into his pouch, pulled out a chunk of ration meat, and tossed it forward. The creature sniffed, approached, and in one smooth gulp, swallowed it. Then it sat, not like a wild beast, like a companion. Eli blinked. Buzz hovered in confusion. And for the first time in hours, Eli cracked a wide grin. "Well, would you look at that," he whispered. "Day one on the galaxy's deadliest planet, and I've already made a friend." He raised his wrist to the drone cam. "This is Cadet Eli Voss, reporting from Arcadia 9. Planet's weird, beautiful, and possibly sentient. Oh, and I might have just tamed a giant space bear." Buzz beeped. Eli smiled. "End log." The fog came in like a whisper. 1 minute. The sky was clear, if clear could describe a swirling violet atmosphere veined with pulsing aurorae, and the next, the air thickened into a soupy haze that muted colors, swallowed sounds, and distorted space like a dream unraveling. Eli Voss stood knee-deep in the tall grass near the river's edge, his hand still outstretched from tossing a second ration cube toward the creature. The thing across from him didn't lunge or snarl. It just stared. 2 green-gold eyes blinked slowly through the fog. Its head was massive, broad-jawed, like a saber-toothed tiger crossed with Komodo dragon, with moss-like fur draped over its back and curling around long, almost fin-like spines. Its paws were the size of Eli's torso, but tipped not in claws, instead thick, flat talons, like blunt tools. It had evolved not for killing, but surviving. But the drone hovered silently above, its lens dilating and clicking as it focused. "Still alive," Eli muttered into the drone's recorder. "Big Fuzzy Godzilla is either curious, or I just passed some kind of snack-based test." The beast took a slow step forward. Eli raised both hands, palms open. "Hey, easy. I'm the squishy alien here." Another step. A low, rumbling sound emerged from its chest, not a growl. A purr. Deep, seismic, like a mountain stretching in its sleep. "Whoa!" Eli whispered, eyes wide. "Buzz, get that sound. That's not aggression. That's contentment." Buzz chirped in acknowledgement. The beast closed the remaining distance, now just a few feet away. Up close, Eli could see its features more clearly. Its fur wasn't just mossy, it was moss or some kind of organic symbiosis. Vines dangled from its shoulders, glowing softly. Small flying insects hovered around it, not in fear, but like fish swimming alongside a whale. It was an ecosystem unto itself. Slowly, cautiously, Eli reached out and placed a hand on its shoulder. The texture was rough, warm, alive. The beast made no move to resist. In fact, it leaned into the touch, exhaling a puff of fragrant steam from its nose. "Well," Eli said, still in disbelief, "if this is how I die, it's the most majestic way possible." The beast snorted and nudged him, hard enough to knock him backward into the grass. It then curled its massive body beside him and sat. Eli laughed, a short, breathless sound of relief and awe. You know what? I think I just got adopted. Entry log day 2. Subject, Cadet Eli Voss. Location, Arcadia, 9. Status, not dead, making friends. The second day on Arcadia, 9 began with Eli being woken by something warm, wet, and heavy licking the side of his face. He sat up with a start, only to see the beast curl beside him like a house cat, despite being 3 tons of muscle and moss, panting happily. Okay, no more face licks, he groaned, wiping his cheek. That's not breakfast, that's harassment. Buzz hovered nearby, already recording. Eli stood, stretching. His joints ached from sleeping on the ground, but something else buzzed through his nerves. A strange energy, not adrenaline, not fear, connection. He glanced around. The environment was shifting again. The fog was gone, replaced with light rain that didn't fall. It hovered, beads of water suspended like stars between leaves. The colors of the landscape subtly changed with the weather. The trees turned from green to blue. The grass darkened to purple. It was like the planet was a living mood ring. I think the ecosystem here is reactive, Eli muttered aloud. Not just self-sustaining. It responds to stimulus, temperature, emotion, movement, and maybe even... He paused. To me? Buzz tilted its lens. Eli shrugged. I know it sounds crazy, but everything here shifted after I arrived. It's not attacking. It's watching, testing, maybe deciding. The beast let out a snort and ambled toward the river. With one casual swipe of its paw, it slapped the surface and sent a fountain of water and fish into the air. 3 landed near Eli. He blinked. You hunt for me now? He asked. This is getting weird. The beast nudged one fish toward him and sat again. Eli looked at Buzz. We need a name for this guy. Buzz chirped a suggestion in binary tones. Rumble? Eli raised an eyebrow. Because of the purring thing? Another chirp. Rumble it is. Later that day, Eli lit a fire using his fabricator's plasma spark and cooked the alien fish on a makeshift skewer. The meat turned white and flaked like tuna, but smelled faintly of citrus and mint. He turned to the drone cam. Welcome to the first official episode of Fishing with Voss and Rumble, he said, grinning. Today we're cooking up Arcadian fish, courtesy of my new buddy-slash-bodyguard. Rumble snorted from the side of the fire, watching the fish roast with laser focus. Eli continued. Still no signs of aggressive behavior from local wildlife. In fact, most creatures keep their distance from Rumble. He's clearly a top predator, maybe even an apex symbiotic. Whatever he is, he likes me, which is a relief because his teeth are the size of steak knives. He paused, looking around. There's something else. The plants here? They move. Not fast, but I swear, every time I look away, they're just slightly different, like the forest is subtly rearranging itself. He pointed to a nearby ridge. That hill? Wasn't there yesterday. The river's winding changed. Eli glanced at Rumble, who was now snoring softly. I think this place isn't just alive, he whispered. I think it's intelligent. That night, a storm rolled in, but it didn't come from the sky. It came up from the ground. Eli awoke to a low humming sound, deep and vibrating through the moss beneath him. The trees trembled. The river glowed brighter. Suddenly, massive vines burst from the earth on the far side of the river, flailing like tentacles. A creature emerged, long, snake-like, covered in armored scales and emitting ultrasonic clicks. Rumble roared and lunged without hesitation. The fight was brutal and fast. Rumble slammed into the serpent beast with the force of a boulder, biting down on its neck and hurling it into the forest with crash. Silence returned. Eli's pulse slowed as he stood, blinking at the scene. That would have eaten me alive, he said softly. Rumble returned, scratched a triumphant, and laid back down beside him with a snort. Eli sat, staring into the fire that had never gone out, somehow protected from the chaos. Okay, new hypothesis, he said into the drone cam. This planet doesn't want me dead. But it's not safe, either. It's curated, like it's watching what I do, what I choose. He looked down at Rumble. The beast's flank rose and fell, its mossy fur glowing gently in time with Eli's heartbeat. I'm being tested. And Rumble, he smiled. He's my test buddy. It took 3 days for the video to breach Arcadia 9's atmospheric interference. 3 days of decoding corrupted data packets. 3 days of engineers slamming fists on consoles. 3 days of nothing. Until suddenly, a crystalline clear video with full audio popped up on the Galactic Core's Deep Space Monitoring Array. The file name? FWVR_IP01_final. VOS. The message came through the Deep Space Uplink Array like a miracle, and it was not what anyone had expected. Galactic Core HQ, Earth Orbit. The Command Council convened an emergency session alpha the moment the video hit public systems. Too late. Within hours, it had already been duplicated, mirrored, and shared on every ComNet, social media node, and entertainment stream across 12 systems. The footage opened on a glowing riverbank. Eli Voss stood shirtless in makeshift vine-woven cargo pants, holding a smoking fish skewered on a blade of hardened crystal. Behind him, a 12-foot moss-covered beast sat obediently, tail lazily sweeping through the water, purring like an industrial engine. And that's how you clean and grill one of these bad boys, Eli said to the camera, flipping the fish toward the beast. Right, Rumble? Rumble caught in his jaws, blinked slowly, and rumbled contentedly. The camera zoomed slightly as Eli leaned in with a smile. Welcome to Fishing with Voss and Rumble, Episode 1. I'm Cadet Eli Voss. This is a no-return planet. This is my best friend. And I'm kinda living my best life. He winked. The screen cut to a wide pan shot of Arcadia. 9 misty mountains, glimmering rivers, trees that shimmered like stained glass. An orchestral soundtrack. Not added post-production, but generated by the planet's native bioharmonics, as confirmed by astrobiologists later, played faintly under the drone cam's captured audio. The video ended with a simple phrase, over a shot of Eli and Rumble looking up at the stars. Life finds you where no one else would look. 24 hours later, galactic panic, public obsession. The video went viral across the void. Military command tried to contain it, but it was too late. Every civilian channel replayed clips. Kids reenacted the Rumble fish catch. Memes of Eli lounging on moss hammocks with captions like, "Me ignoring my responsibilities," like, flooded the data streams. Within 2 solar days. Rumble, plush toys hit black market printers. A band on New Luna released a hit single. Per like Rumble, the phrase vibing on Arcadia trended as slang for living carefree. The public fell in love with a boy who was supposed to die, but not everyone was celebrating. Command briefing, Enclave 9, Earth Orbit. Commander Drex was livid. He stood at the front of high-security war room, glaring at a paused frame of Eli, mid-wink, on a holographic display. This is what we got back from the galaxy's most dangerous planet, he growled. A reality show. A few of the council members chuckled nervously. Drex slammed his hand on the console. He was ordered to perform reconnaissance. Instead, he sends a cooking vlog with a pet bearfish tiger thing, and jokes like he's auditioning for the Explorers Network. Admiral Varn cleared his throat. With respect, Commander, the footage is authentic. His drone's log confirms terrain scans, atmospheric readings, creature interactions. Even his humor, intentional or not, is keeping half the sector from rioting about government secrecy. A younger officer chimed in. Sir, he's unified public sentiment across 20 colonies. There's hope again. Like people actually believe in something. Drex turned slowly. He's a cadet, not a savior. And that planet, has killed everything we've ever sent, except him. A moment of silence. Then, send a message. Back on Arcadia, 9. Eli had just finished teaching Rumble how to shake when his drone pinged. Buzz hovered closer and displayed a flickering message. Galactic Core HQ, encrypted channel. Status update required. Immediate. Awaiting response. Eli sat back on a moss-covered rock and raised an eyebrow. Well, look who finally picked up the line. He glanced at the camera. Hey, Buzz, roll tape. The drone began to record. Eli leaned in, face serious for the first time in days. Transmission TO command, log file, FWVR_RSP_01. Commander Drex. Galactic Core. Whoever's watching. Pause. A slow inhale. I know you expected a corpse or a black box. Maybe a few seconds of static before the feed cut out. But instead, you got me. Camera pans slightly. Rumble lumbers into view, snorting proudly. I've been here for 6 days. Not just alive. Thriving. This planet isn't a graveyard. It's selective. It doesn't want just anyone. It chose me. Or at least it's letting me stay. Eli stood, gesturing to the bioluminescent forest behind him. This place adapts to me. Changes with my emotions. The sky brightens when I laugh. The rivers shift around where I walk. Rumble here? He's not just a pet. He's a guardian. A test. A partner. Buzz tilted its lens as if nodding. Eli leaned closer. This planet isn't broken. It's alive. A living network. Maybe even a consciousness. Everything you sent here before? Cold tech. Harsh probes. Machines. Predators. You came try to extract, conquer, dominate. That's why you failed. He pointed to himself. I came with curiosity. Openness. A fishing pole and bad jokes. A pause. Then a grin. You sent me here to disappear. But I'm coming back, with data, with samples, and maybe with an invitation. Command HQ. 6 hours later. The room was dead silent. No one laughed this time. Drex stared at the transmission, jaw clenched. He tapped the control pad and brought up Eli's drone feed logs, topographical maps, biological profiles, a live model of the planetary ecosystem. Everything was beyond anything they'd encountered. The entire planet was reacting like an immune system, filtering threats, embracing balance. He growled, then turned to the room. Prepare a team. Not an assault. Not an extraction. A diplomatic unit. We're going to Arcadia 9. Back on Arcadia 9. Eli sat by the river again, recording another entry. Fan mail's coming in now. Thanks for the artwork. Miri from Vega. Love the Rumble plush. He tried to eat it. Success. Rumble snore behind him, chewing on a fish skull. Atmosphere still stable. Trees change color today. Again. Think they like my singing. Buzz chirped. Eli smiled, eyes a little tired now, but content. I don't know what comes next, but if Arcadia chose me... He looked up at the swirling sky, stars gleaming between clouds like pinholes in a god's canvas. I think I'm ready to choose it back. Fade to black. Text appears. To be continued. Not in a swarm of steel gunships or mining rigs. Not with tanks or drones, or the kind of cold conquest the Galactic Core had long been known for. Instead, the descent vessel shimmered like a tear in the sky. Sleek, reflective, and silent. It was the Aegis Dawn, a diplomatic-class cruiser retrofitted for minimal environmental disturbance, guided by neural link pathways and emotional dampeners tuned to Arcadia 9's unpredictable resonance fields. Inside the ship, 6 delegates, 2 scientists, 1 botanist, 3 planetary diplomats, and no Commander Drex. He'd resigned, quietly and without fanfare, after a heated closed-door session where he called the planet a liar in the skin of paradise. The new team was led by Envoy Ilarate, a soft-spoken exobiologist who had once argued that Arcadia might be not just a planet, but a being. She wasn't there to conquer. She was there to listen. Meanwhile, at the river, Eli Voss stood on the edge of the glowing shoreline, watching the clouds ripple open above the tree-line. His moss-woven shirt fluttered gently in the Arcadian wind and Rumble, now taller, broader, his moss fur pulsing with golden veins, sat beside him like a sentinel carved from living stone. Buzz hovered above, chirping softly. Eli nodded without turning. They're here. Rumble grunted. A low, thunder-like hum echoed to the nearby hills. Not a warning. A welcome. The forest responded. Trees unfolded new leaves in geometric spirals. Vines shifted away from the clearing. Bioluminescent flora lined the riverbank, like lanterns preparing for a festival. Arcadia was ready. For the first time in its recorded and unrecorded history, it had invited them in. First contact, second chances. The Aegis Dawn landed with only a soft ripple wind. The hatch opened, and Envoy Tay stepped out onto Arcadian soil with bare hands and an exposed face. No helmet, no fear. She approached slowly, hands empty. Eli smiled and walked toward her, stopping a few feet away. "Careful," he said. "You'll set off the fireworks." Tay raised an eyebrow. "Fireworks." As if on cue, Rumble snorted, and 1,000 firefly-like creatures rose into the air behind them, swirling in brilliant spirals of green, blue, and soft amber. Tay laughed quietly. "So, the reports were true." Eli nodded. Every last weird, unbelievable second. Her eyes scanned the environment. "It's beautiful, reactive, alive." "Not just alive," Eli said. "Sentient, selective, maybe even telepathic. The planet's biosphere has been talking to me since I landed. I just didn't know the language at first. And now we're pen pals," he said, only half joking. "I give it stories, music, fish jokes. It gives me shelter, companionship." And Rumble huffed and plopped down dramatically between them, tail flicking. Envoy Tay stepped forward slowly, watching the beast. "May I?" Eli shrugged. "Ask him." She knelt, extended a hand. Rumble sniffed it. Then, with a noise like a yawning volcano, he nudged her shoulder affectionately and nearly knocked her over. She laughed, a pure, surprise laugh. And that was when the forest joined in. A low harmonic tone rippled through the air, like distant chimes stirred by wind. Eli turned his face to the sky. "She likes you." Eli nodded. "I think Arcadia. 9 is a singular, global intelligence. Not a god, not a monster, but a planetary mind. One that was scarred by centuries of extraction, then closed itself off like a wounded animal, until someone showed up with nothing but curiosity and a fishing pole." Envoy Tay looked at him, truly seeing him now, not as the boy who went viral, but as the first diplomat of a world no one understood. "You're not just surviving here," she said softly. "You're a part of it now. I don't know if I've earned that, but she hasn't kicked me out yet." The message heard across the stars. A week later, a new video went out, not through command channels, not through encrypted military satellites, but through the public broadcast wave Eli's drone had hacked during the first transmission. He sat on a glowing stone, Rumble beside him, Envoy Tay in frame, and the Aegis dawn in the background. Eli looked directly into the lens. "Hello again, Galaxy. It's me, Eli Voss. Still not dead." Cue Rumble's grunt. "I've got a message. Not from command. Not from the Corps. From her, Arcadia. She's ready to talk, to share, but only if we come in peace. If we come with questions, not demands. If we offer curiosity instead of control." He looked up at the trees' shifting color behind him. "You sent me here to disappear. Instead, I found something bigger than any of us. And I'm inviting you to listen, not because I'm special, but because for once we have a chance to meet the unknown without trying to own it." He smiled. "Bring your stories. Bring your art. Bring your weird. And if you got a fishing pole." Rumble roared. "You might just make a friend." Epilogue, a new era. In the years that followed, Arcadia, 9 became more than a mystery planet. It became a pilgrimage. Only those who were willing to walk in peace, who came with patience and a willingness to listen, were allowed beyond the outer groves. The planet judged each visitor without a word, and offered wonder in return. Children were told stories of Rumble and the River King. Musicians composed songs inspired by the forest's harmonic responses. Botanists wept openly when they discovered trees that responded to lullabies. And in the heart of it all, beneath a cathedral of vines that bloomed only once every 100 days, sat a simple house of living wood and stone. There, Eli Voss hosted guests, told stories, shared meals, listened. He never left, not because he couldn't, but because he'd found what the galaxy never gave him, a place that saw him and let him stay.